Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at Ethereum. Before we jump into the price action, just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out, it's free to join. Okay, so let's get into this. We're still looking for further evidence that we could have set up for another 1-2 to the upside here. Basically looking at this move as a 1-2, 1-2, and then looking to see whether we can progress to the upside from here and continue this bullish momentum. If we start to lose the 1657, that would be a bad indication for us and potentially would mean that we are going to actually come back and re-challenge the zone of the 1611 area. And if we do actually start to lose this key area, basically that would invalidate this possibility of another 1-2 here. However, this whole move can potentially also be countered as having this wave 1 complete up here. So we need to be aware that really for as long as this lower green support box holds towards this from this 1587 to this 1458, there is still always that potential to actually push to the upside. So we've talked about a few things within here in the previous videos. All is still valid. We're talking about that possibility. This is a fifth wave to the upside, and we could actually be coming for a bigger retracement here to the downside here, looking for that possibility of coming back down into this 1406 to this 1206 region. And that would be then looking for this potentially to still break down in a bigger three-wave move, coming back and retesting some of these lower levels. This is still viable, but for as long as we actually continue to hold these support zones, potentially we can still look for that upside. So we're going to come here into the smaller time frames. Basically, what I'm looking at within here, we were talking about this yesterday, the possibility that we could be starting to see some extension up here. That's only based on the fact that we were looking for a third wave, and we were looking for this possibility where this was a 1-2 and another 1-2 in here. However, we did cross that line, so that is now invalidated, so we are not looking at it like that. And rather, we're also talking about the fact that this could just be a bigger corrector structure here. And what we were looking for there is basically something like this, where we were looking at this whole possibility here of being a bigger, let me actually turn that off as well. Looking at this move being a bigger A wave here, this was a B wave connector, and then we're actually looking for that C wave to the downside. So technically speaking, if we're looking at this as a flat as an A, B, and a C, we've actually met the minimum requirements for which would be the 1725. We've met this zone as a potential running flat already. However, it is possible we could still look for this to develop into a bigger expanding flat. And what they would be looking to do is actually target out lower down here towards this zone of this 1695 to the 1648. And what we'd be looking for here is whether we actually have a fourth wave here. I am still looking at this possibility just based off of how it's forming here. It does look potentially like we do have a bit of a triangle forming in here, something like this. And this could look to actually break to the downside. If this is the case, we'd be looking at this as potentially A, B, C, D, potentially having one more push up for that E wave and then looking to break down. However, it is also possible the E wave could be completed in here already, and we could see this start to move down. So the target for this would be this zone here of the 1718 to this 1704. If this is a fourth wave, what we need to be cautious of, however, is if this is rather a bigger, instead of looking at this as a bigger A, B, and a C wave to the downside, and this is just a bigger W, X, and then we're getting a Y wave here. What this could then be is that this is an A wave, B wave, and then we get a C wave down, which could actually look to push us down deeper. This flat support zone wouldn't really work within that then. But what we could see if we had to see a one-to-one move to the downside off these highs would be basically coming back down towards the 1642 area. So that could be quite an interesting zone. That could be setting us up for basically coming back and retesting these lows here that we talked about within the key supports. So that could actually look to bring us back down towards the 786. Problem is, once we start to break through this 1657 zone, a wick down through this is fine and then a move away. But when this moves down through here and starts to consolidate below it, it becomes more likely we're actually going to take these lows, and then potentially be looking for these lower support zones here. So it's going to need a bit of time here to see how this progresses. So the thing is within this, like I said, we have potentially come down to the 1725 area, which would be a one-to-one. And I am currently counting this as needing an additional fifth wave here. However, you could also argue that within this you have a truncation in here potentially, um, where you could count this one, two, three, four, and a five into this, and then that could actually be a completed move, and we could be starting to move away here. So the key thing here, if we are starting to move away from this zone in a bigger way, is we need to get back above some of these key areas, particularly the beginning of this move at this 1857. Um, if we do, however, move up past this zone, we need to just be a little bit cautious, because if this is only a three-wave structure to the downside, A, B, C, what we could see, just like with what I was discussing with in the Bitcoin video, is we could see something like this is an A, this is a B. We develop a C wave to the upside and potentially come back up and retest some of these areas of a flat, and basically this whole move then becomes a B wave like this, and then that would actually put it quite nicely, like proportional in time to this A wave potentially. Could see how something like this developing would give us a better one-to-one. It's not saying that it has to, but something like this, if we do get like a five-wave move up here, could give us quite a good symmetry between these waves. So I am keeping an eye on that. If we do start to break to the upside, even if we do get a five-wave move up here, we need to be cautious, because if we do break up into these zones, this 1893 to this 1841, potentially we could still face rejection off of that area, and like I said, this becomes an ABC, and then actually we're still looking to break down for the C wave. It's just taking longer here. The only problem I'd have with this, if we form a move like this as an A, a B, and a C, it would start to become less likely that it's a wave two, where this is a one, this is a two, just because the size of it would be getting quite big at that point. And it would probably make more sense that we've actually completed into here. This is an A, this is a B, this is a C, and then actually, this move here could actually be rather a one, two as a flat, and then we look to push to the upside. Obviously, as soon as we start to have five-wave structure to the downside, we need to be a little bit careful. So if we do form this five-wave move, which actually does move down here one more time towards the 1718 area, basically what we'd want to see is how we react on the retrace to the upside. So this fifth wave is valid for as long as we stay below this 1792. If we move above this 1792, basically that would invalidate that move. But we, like I was also saying, if we do complete this five wave move, we're gonna have to be cautious again in this zone here of this 1783 to this 1825. Any kind of a three wave structure up into this, and potentially coming back and looking to retest some of these levels here. This golden pocket would be quite an interesting one here. Alternatively, higher up the 786 at this 1825. So that golden pocket's here at this 1800 area. So keep an eye on that if we do move up. Obviously I'm taking it from lower down here. If we had to move up directly from where we are, that 618 would be a little bit higher here, this 1806, but somewhere in that zone. So keep an eye on this. I do think that we potentially still have some downside to come here. At least one more push that would fit into the flat. However, if we do start to push to the upside, we need to be careful, because then potentially, all we've got here is the is that is this as a three-way move. Like I said, you can count it as a five-way move into there, but it's not the neatest way of doing it. Um, and even within these moves here, we need to be cautious. Once we start to get moves like this developing, where we get impulsive structure, we need to be aware that until we actually break back above these highs, if we just get a three-wave move up here, this could then become another one, two, and then we start to break down deeper. So really if we were looking for bullish bias, we need to get back above these highs and really start to get going, because if this is a third wave like we're talking about within the option here, what we want to see is when once this wave two completes, basically we want to see a nice strong move up here, potentially towards this zone of this 2095, that was off of this low here. So that still stands at the moment as a potential target area. If we do come down one more time here and set a double bottom, that would be the same target. However, if it has completed slightly earlier here, it would be a little bit higher up. But what we would want to see, I'm not too worried about the target as much because I'd want to see the structure first. I want to see this form something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back down, form a B wave, then maybe form another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, another B, and then start going. So that it's got that structure to actually get us up to these zones. At the moment, it's not looking very promising. It's looking very corrective. So that's what's leading me to believe we do still have some downside to come here. So that's basically what we're looking for within the current structure. Like I said before, if we do start to lose some of these key zones, basically it's going to be whether we actually hold this 1722 to the 1657. For as long as we hold this range, basically that 1-2 pattern stays alive. If we break through the 1657 and we start to lose the 1611, next support zone I'll be looking for is down here towards this 1587 to this 1458, and then if we start to break through that, our last defense is basically lower down here between this 1406 to this 1206 region. And yeah, we have talked about it in previous videos. There is that possibility we could still have some downside here, so we need to just be aware that we're sort of right in that sweet spot. We could look to break down, and it is even possible this whole move here is still within some kind of a bigger structure from further back here. I haven't ruled this out either. We were looking at this basically as some kind of a triangle, with this being A, B, C, and then potentially we could start a three-wave move back down into this potential this trend line here maybe, and then we get another E wave, and then we break down from there. So it could get choppy here. If we do break down, it's going to be crucial. So if we are looking for that bullish potential, if we break down into this zone, we need to get back above these highs, and we need to also break above this zone of here, this 2030. We failed to do that. Basically, it just leaves a lot of options open here, and we could actually just be looking for a much bigger sell-off to come off the back of this. So that's what we're looking for in the bigger time frames there. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. As well as that, there are affiliate links for both Primex BT and BYBIT down there, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. If you do not have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take